Hey there everybody, welcome to this one. Just going to go over the Japanese sectorial army now. I've finished painting it and you can see it all based up. The toe camo marker for the Oniwaban all together, all in one place. I'm just going to go give a quick overview of kind of the points value and what you get for this box set as well. So here's the Kempe Tai, the Domaro Butai and the Oniwaban. Points wise, the Oniwaban is the most expensive by a long shot. Comes in at 41 points whether you take him as lieutenant or lieutenant if you're American, or whether you take him as just a regular guy. But because he's a thermoptic camouflage guy, he always comes on as a thermoptic camouflage marker. So that's his marker that I did for him, sort of the ghostly Yuching orange ghost ninja. And all of these guys are going to have numbers, and I'm going to do these in oriental characters, so it's just a single horizontal line for a 1, and then it's a short horizontal line over a long horizontal line for 2, and so on and therefore. But I haven't done any more than this at the moment, so that's all you can see. And as long as he's in his thermoptic camouflage state, you cannot use regular orders, so it kind of makes it invalid taking him as a lieutenant if you're just utilising this box set. I'm literally going to just talk about this in terms of utilising this box set. 6 figures, and with the Nomad equivalent, that I have anyway, which is the Corregidor Jurisdictional Force box set. You can make a 144 point list, which wasn't completely rubbish. Whereas with this, I'm struggling to get beyond about 130. This is the significant difference between this box set and the Corregidor Jurisdictional Force. The equivalent box set for this is the sort of the core box set for the Nomads. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but because the Wildcats that come in the Corregidor Jurisdictional Force, they're like worth 19 points each. They are a medium class of infantry, I believe. Whereas these are your sort of lowest of the low light infantry for the Japanese sectorial army. They cost in a meagre 9 points each. You can up their points cost. You can take them as lieutenants as well. And if you are going to use this box set, I would strongly recommend taking these guys along with a Kempe Tai as a core fire team, and that will provide you with your an interesting group, because your lieutenant could be one of these 3. You need to be able to identify them. I haven't done this yet, but they're all of my sort of troops where I have multiples. They're all going to get numbered at some point. I hope you like the basing as well. I've been keeping up the hacking basing, and maybe I've used a little bit too much of the good old epoxy, but you can kind of clean that back using terps. So at some point I will give their feet a bath and try and remove the excess so that it becomes more invisible. But that's by the by. You can also push these guys up. The most expensive one you can buy costs in at 17 points, and that's if you take one as a hacker. But that's also half a point of special weapons cost. So for instance, in 150 points list you have 3 points of special weapons cost. But you can't actually make a 150 point list out of this. So here's the whole box set plus the camouflage marker that I made. Just using just a ninja figure, and I'm going to carry on painting all of those guys in that kind of ghostly kind of fashion. And then the best usage points wise, I think, of this box set, it only makes 114 points. And you could knock a few points off here and there. So don't run the Domaro Butai as your lieutenant, because they're going to get attacked, gunned down really quickly. Run a Kaisotsu Butai, one of the light infantry guys. So in this case, this lady here, run her, say, as my lieutenant. It only costs 9 points, but it costs you 1 special weapons cost. But then what you can do with that, because it's a Japanese sectorial army, the sectorial armies allow you to run fire groups. So then you run a Kaisotsu fire group corps. So you have the lieutenant, you use the other 2 as forward observers, so you can choose to forward observe with them, or shoot with them. Forward observing gives you better odds on hitting if you've already observed somebody. And then also run your Kenpei die, this dude, in with the core fire group. So this means you've got 4 dudes all moving together who act as one, so one order you can move them all twice. You know, you can shoot them all as part of a single order. It allows you to make the most of your orders and actually makes them a pretty aggressive and pretty dangerous fire team. Never underestimate the lowly combi rifle. Its stats are good enough to do the job. You make someone make enough saves and they'll fail one sooner or later. So this kind of mass combi rifle group, it will work. It will do damage and it will be able to get up the table, and you'll be able to conserve your orders and optimize order usage. With the Domaru Butai, the samurai, so this guy here, literally just run him chain rifle, run him basic at 25 points, which brings him with EM grenades as well as a chain rifle, plus a pistol and EM close combat weapon. The EM close combat weapon's alright if you're worried about coming against vehicles, but if not, spend the extra point, 26 points, take the Domaru Butai with the double action close combat weapon. It forces your opponent to take 2 saves for each one, so it's better than the AP close combat weapon. And the Domaru Butai are so bad at shooting, to be honest with you, that anything other than the chain rifle probably isn't worth it. Yeah, their stats just aren't good enough. And then just take Yoni Wabans and Oni Waban. They'll infiltrate, chuck them forward, put pressure on early game, and use them not so much as an actual dude as such, just use them to put pressure on, control the flank with them or what have you, just threaten. So I mean, that's just a brief analysis of how to use these just as a 6-man team straight out of the box. Again, versus say the Corregidor Jurisdictional Force, I would strongly recommend that if one of you and a friend bought one of these boxes each, Corregidor's probably going to have you pay like a 120 point game. Don't pay 150 points. That would be cruel on the JSA player. But on the same note, the JSA forces, it will be a very powerful force if you use it right. And you might want to try playing against the 150 point force, play as the underdog, maybe take some additional advantage, like if the other player is willing to award you an additional order, say, for argument's sake. So you can have a bonus order, so you get 7 orders instead of 6, then that would probably balance everything out pretty much. So here's the Domaru Butai, all finished, all based. I'm going to be doing everything on these kind of hacker icon style bases, trying to keep a consistency to all of my forces, so that when I'm doing videos and such forth, I'm trying to do this head-up display thing. When I'm doing the battle reports, intention is that I will superimpose all of the token usage, etc. You get the best experience possible out of the videos that I'm doing. I just want everything to look like it's being viewed either on Maya or Arachne. I haven't quite decided which yet. That's all going to happen as and when it happens. And I'm going to try and put these all together so that it's sort of realistic is the wrong word, but just so it's a slightly different battle report style from the normal battle reports there are out there, and everything looks like it's got the hacker icon underneath it. You're looking at the whole world through your head-up display, and that head-up display identifies your enemies for you, and hence they've got the hacker icons, the sort of icons underneath them. Or maybe the Huguenot is a war corps or a nomad operative or some kind of special service operative. I haven't quite decided. Maybe that's going to be part of it, finding out who the Huguenot really is. And just the reports that are made, and so you're seeing through the eyes of someone's head-up display. Try and make it so you're seeing the infinity eye view. Try and give you the miniatures eye view. Hence I'm also going to carry on trying to, first it's going to be limited, but as time goes by I'm going to be doing all of the kind of street furniture, as many kind of municipal buildings as I can, as much of a variety of buildings and city locations as I can. And because I really want to bring out the sort of cinematic quality. I often watching games and people are always talking about cinematic moments, and I kind of want to show you how cinematic these kind of games can be. Bring a bit of narrative into it. So I hope it's been some use to you, of interest to you. I think all of these army boxes are really good value for money. They are different points values, but it's because Corvus Belli charges you the cost of manufacture, not the points value of the miniature. So you are literally being charged how much it costs. Hence, for instance, the drones are pretty expensive to buy, but they're one of the cheapest units in the game. But they're also one of the most useful. So, but it's a fairly big model in terms of the amount of metal that's used. So take care, everybody. Have a good one. Enjoy your gaming. Bye bye.